recent post by Reuters blogger Tim Cox explored the issue of megachurches in Nigeria and the impact they're having on the African nation's fledgling economy. According to Cox, attention has been focused on the megachurches and the unreported cash windfall they receive as a result of tax laws which exempt them from scrutiny. This situation came about after the collapse in September of a guest house of a Christian pastor for the Synagogue Church of All Nations, in which 115 people perished, many of whom were pilgrims from South Africa. According to reports, the Leggos State Building Control Agency had sealed off the construction. However, the church ignored the order and continued construction. According to Cox's blog, posting, Nigeria has an annual GDP equaling 510 million, but there is no way of knowing how much of that flows through the prolific churches. The blog quoted Bismarck Rawane, economist and CEO for the Lagos consultancy firm named Financial Derivatives, who said, "They don't submit accounts to anybody. At least 6 church leaders have private jets, so they have money. How much, no one really knows." In the recent Synod of Bishops assembled in Rome to discuss and present the position of the Church on issues like family values and traditional family, Pope Francis was hoping to bring about changes to the Catholic Church's position towards homosexuality. However, the conservative bishops brought their collective down. The original document presented during the Synod, said homosexuals had gifts and qualities to offer. It also asked if Catholicism could accept gays and recognise positive aspects of same-sex couples. In a dramatic change in tone from that past, it said that the Church should challenge itself to find a fraternal space for homosexuals without compromising Catholic doctrine. While Roman Catholic gay rights groups around the world hailed the paper as a breakthrough, conservative bishops condemned it as a betrayal of church teaching and said its language had sowed confusion among the faithful. At the time, the Vatican stressed that the paper was still a work in progress and a definitive version would be issued after the Synod. Cardinal Raymond Burke from the United States accused the committee that prepared the text of having railroaded the Assembly. He said it did not reflect the consensus position of the Catholic Church and demanded changes. Burke, claiming that the document wasn't a position many of the bishops accepted, demanded that Pope Francis issue a clear statement defending his idea of traditional marriage and family. To the Pope's embarrassment, the Conservatives won out, and the Catholic gay groups were left very disappointed. The final version of this document will now serve Catholics around the world over in the next 12 months and will be the cornerstone of a second and final synod on the family that will take place sometime next year. The Times-Union newspaper out of Albany, New York, recently ran a story exposing a survey in the local Bethlehem school district. The purpose of the survey is to allow children to gauge their character strengths. Students at Bethlehem Central Middle School are asked to take the 96-question assessment compiled by life coaches at something called the VIA Institute on Character to promote positive values. However, there are parents who object to some of the questions used to calculate the analysis. For example, pupils are asked to tick a box indicating the degree to which they identify with qualities such as, I have a faith that I practice, I feel better when I pray, I believe there is a higher power that points me to the right thing, and there is a higher power looking out for my best interests. Exactly who will receive the results of the survey and how the answers will be scored is unclear, but it looks like all children who take the test receive a positive result regardless of their choices. Researcher and blogger Hemant Mehta took the online version of the survey, masquerading as a 13-year-old boy named Bob Jones. Hemant's alter ego identified with each question except for the 4, which inquired about his religious identity. Yet his assessment read in part, You have strong and coherent beliefs about the higher purpose and meaning of the universe.